Hi everybody, this is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers, Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group, and the Junk Journal and Papercrafts Facebook group. Now, this is my design team project for LineDotArrow, and this month we're using 4 different kits, plus there's going to be challenge papers at LineDotArrows where you'll be able to get those for free every Saturday, I believe. And yeah, so the 4 kits together have 77 pages plus the challenge papers. Forget that I wrote freebies right there. They're challenge papers. So you're going to have probably 90 pages or so to play with if you get all 4 kits, and or just use the freebies if you like to enter the drawings. Now, to enter the drawings, you just post a picture or a video of something you've made using either the kits, the freebies, or the combination of the two, and use the hashtag LDA March Challenges. That's hashtag LDA for LineDotArrow, LDA March Challenges with an S. Okay, use that hashtag in your post, and for every post that you make, you will get 1 point or 1 entry into the drawing if you use just the freebies. If you use the kit papers or a combination of, then you need to let us know that you've used the kit papers. There's so many this time, there's no way we'll be able to keep track between those and the freebies. And then you'll get 2 points per entry, or 2 entries per post. Why do I keep saying points? I don't know. So these are the 4 kits. I'm not going to do any kind of flip through or anything. Go to Natalie's LineDotArrow YouTube channel, and she did a big reveal and flip through, and a couple of days before the first challenge. So the first challenge came out, I believe, on March 1st or 2nd. Okay, so it's one of those 2 days. Anyway, so we have vintage patterned journal pages. There's 11 of those. Vintage blank journal pages. Now these are the US letter size. You can also get them in A4, I believe. Pretty Pastels vintage journal papers, and the Floral Scraps mini kit. Now, I have a combination of them all. I mixed them all together. I have no idea which ones I used and didn't use. I printed out, I think, 30 pages, and then the ephemera, except for the envelopes, and the ephemera ended up being tags and pockets, and then a few fussy cuts. Okay, so we'll put that to the side. So now we're going to make a manila folder project, but I want to do something on the front with this paper, and I think I want to make something tall and skinny on the cover that isn't necessarily the size of the folio. So I like to buy the world a Coke. Never mind. Oh, anyway, I was sitting here trying to think beforehand, and I'm like, you're never going to figure it out. Just turn the camera on and try to figure it out. So I want it to be a little bit wider than this because I want her to be in the center. Okay, so let me cut her off. Somehow I ended up with like 3 duplicates when I printed. So I don't know if that was just me, or if you have to be careful if you have all the kits, and if you're like me and you threw them all in a folder on your computer and just started printing, then apparently that's what you get. Okay, so we've got her, and this is a regular manila folder. Look, it's a different color. Look at that. It's a different color. I don't like that. Don't like it at all. Okay. Well, we could do this. We could take this image I was going to put it on as a pocket and put a large card this way. Definitely not a skinny card that way. And then have the pocket open up. Alright, well, if I'm going to do that, Okay, so what I can do is I can take the front side of this just this front piece, darn it. What I want to do is I don't know if I want to stencil this time. I don't want to stencil every time. We are going to ink. I'm going to use ground espresso. I was going to use black. Then I decided against it. Barely. Okay, so this is how tall it's going to be. So let's cut that off first. Okay. Then we'll cut just this part. I have a giant hair. This is why I buy these in the hundreds. Okay. Then I want to take this on as a pocket. I think we're going to have to make this smaller. Okay. This is what I'd like to do. I'd like to glue them on like this and make them both pockets. Then yeah, that would work. Okay. Yes, I'm thinking, okay, so then the rest of it would be I did that because sometimes the lines are not in the middle. See? If I would have cut it along that line, I would have made it crooked. This is a nice color. Wish I'd have made this a little bit bigger. I would have framed it with the green. Let's do this instead. Let's see. Well, frame it in the green. This isn't wide enough. This is wider. Okay, so we're going to do this here. And that there. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So we're going to take I could use this though, couldn't I? I do like that. I'm going to put this here, like so, and then this one here, like so. They're both going to be pockets. Okay, so what are we going to paper this with? This is going to go on here. How much is that going to show? Mm-mm. These were the Blanc, spelled B-L-A-N-C, Blanc pages. that I printed on the back randomly. Some of them have lines and some of them don't. This is going to go on here. That's going to go on there. We'll need something. We'll do something in here. We'll need magnets. The inside of this has a little cutout from a tab, but that's okay. Finally got everything the right size. So we're going to go ahead and put the magnets in here. If you hear this weird popping noise, for some reason my two computers have decided to make this noise like a video game, like a pop noise, randomly. First it was just this one that I used for recording. Then it's the was the other one doing it as well. So I don't know what the deal is. It's driving me crazy. I had all the programs closed on this computer, just the Windows running. I don't know. Okay, so now this goes on here. Okay. This goes with the scraps for right now. This is a half paper. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, if this is the size of half of a paper, it's going to be the size of the rest of our manila folder, but I don't want it to be. I've got, no, they all have lines in them to be folded in half. So we will put this one on this one. Now what I'm wondering is, I I'd like to make this a little bit bigger, so I can have another border of color, different flowers or something around. Do you guys like my burn? It's a doozy. It doesn't hurt. I didn't even feel it when I did it. I didn't know I did it until I saw it. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. I didn't realize it was time to take my medicine and to feed the dog. Let's see. I'm just not thinking very well today. But if I made it big enough, no, I'm just gonna. Yeah, this flips up. This will open that way. Okay. I can dig that. I can dig it. Okay, so now yeah, we'll glue it on as a pocket too. So now we're going to have to ink everything. The way these papers are, it's not going to matter. We don't need a smooth edge. These are vintagey, kind of faded wallpaper looking pages. So these are going to be separate pages, so you want to ink the corners on both sides. think we'll do something on every page on the inside, which are these two inside pages, with some sort of a flip up, flip down, something. I'm going to go ahead and ink this front and back, even though I know I'm gluing them together as a pocket, because you'll still be able to see the edge where you reach into the pocket to pull the card out. You know what I'm thinking? I'm going around the corners on this. So the other day, when I sold my Cricut, and I was taking it out to the car so that I could take it to the nice young lady that bought it, who was getting married in September. And so she's doing all her crafty stuff with her new Cricut. She even sent me a message and said that she did her first cut or whatever and everything went wonderful, and she was so very, very happy. I thought that was nice of her. Anyway, so I'm at the door. I already had the Cricut and everything in the car, and then I realized the car keys were in the house. So I opened the door to come back in to get the car keys, and Oz, in his infinite wisdom, decides to run out the door right between my legs. Little stinker. So there I am, needing to meet her at a certain time at her work, about 20 miles from home, not knowing the traffic situation. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. And Mr. Man decides to run out the front door. And you know, once they do that, if you try to chase them, it's like a game to them. As soon as you get however many feet close to them, 10 feet, 20 feet, whatever, then they run away another 50 feet and stop and wait for you to come after them again. It's like this really dumb game that the dogs are playing with the humans. I refuse to play. So I just go back in the house and pretend like he's not out there. He's afraid of cars. He won't go out by the highway or anything. He just runs around our building for 20 to 30 minutes. Because he knows he's going to be in trouble when he gets back, so he wants to stay out and live it up as long as he can. I think this is everything. Except for the papers, of course, but so now if these are going to be the same size, which they are, we glue these together as a pocket, and we don't need to paper this or this. And this is going to be glued on here, and it's got that funny little wonky piece. So I think I want to ink it a little more in there. This will be glued on here as a pocket. Oh yeah, that looks better. How is this wider than this? And how is this longer than that? Which, that's fine. We'll just adjust for the height. Okay, we'll just glue it together like this. Make the front stick out a little bit. Okay. So we're going to need to ink this corner more too. Let's just do all the corners on this front piece. As if they're going to show all by themselves. Okay. So if we put this on here, if we put this on the front, there. I bet you didn't know it would do that, did you? So I'm sorry you're seeing all this inking and everything, but when you go to think about putting one together yourself, then these are the things that you're going to come across, and you're going to need to work around or fix or something. Okay, so now if we do this, then it all matches up. That's what it was. One was square and one was round. And the same problem back here. So I should round the corners of this. Well, we'll find out. Anyway, so Oz is out there running around. I'm sitting there with the keys in my hands, waiting for him to come back, knowing that if I went out after him, it would be twice as long. So I just turned the TV on, and I'm just sitting there watching TV, like you do. And sure enough, 20 minutes later, he comes wandering in the front door. I had the bag of treats, and I shook the bag of treats so he would come all the way in, and so I could close the door, and then I put the bag of treats away. And I just looked at him and I said, "You don't think you're going to get a treat after running out the door, do you?" Okay. So we're going to glue these two together completely so we don't have to worry about papering anything. Okay. So we're going to glue it together as a pocket. So what we need to do is we need to put glue I'm just wondering whether it would be cool to have a big top pocket or a side pocket. Alright, I think I'm going to make a side pocket. Okay, for some reason these came out two different lengths. Probably because I measured it with my eyes. Okay, so now on the front we need to paper this. You know what, before we paper and everything, now that we've got this all together and got this all cut out, why don't we go ahead and stop for this video, and then we'll come back in the next video and we'll start papering and putting stuff on the inside too. Okay? Alright, well that's it for this video, and I'll see you in video number 2.